my name is Jasmine Richardson, and today I will be talking about the medical advancements during World War II. World War II is considered the deadliest war due to approximately 60 million people being killed. There was about 15 million soldiers and 45 million civilians killed, and it resulted in 25 million soldiers wounded. This war lasted for 6 years, from 1939 to 1945, and they used weapon warfare, which was the use of bombs, guns, hand grenades, and other weapons. So, due to the high demand of medical treatments, there was a lot of major medical advancements that was discovered during this war. So, scientists studied and tested on soldiers that fought in World War II, and they were able to find major medical advancements. So today we will be talking about penicillin, blood transfusions, prosthetics, and sanitation practices. So penicillin was the first antibiotic to ever be discovered. It was discovered by Dr. Alexander Fleming in September 1928 at St. Mary's Hospital. And other scientists who contributed to his studies is Dr. Ernest Chain, Dr. Howard Florey, Dr. Norman Heatley, and penicillin is known as the biological drug because it takes the manipulation of mold in order to create this antibiotic. Penicillin was used to help fight and prevent infections in wounded soldiers, and the first war encounter with penicillin was the North African Campaign in 1943. We also see a pattern of the amount of penicillin increasing during the war. So, for example, at the beginning of the war, from January to May in 1942, 400 million units of penicillin was manufactured, and by the end of the war, 650 billion units of penicillin was manufactured a month. So now we're going to talk about Dr. Alexander Fleming's reaction to him finding out that he found the first antibiotic. So he said, "When I woke up just after dawn on September 28th, 1928, I certainly didn't plan to revolutionize all medicine by discovering the world's first antibiotic or bacteria killer, but I guess that was exactly what I did." And this is Dr. Fleming. Now we're going to talk about blood transfusions. So many civilians donated blood to soldiers, and many soldiers developed infectious serum jaundice viral hepatitis, which is jaundice, and this was due to unsterile needles and syringes not being changed in between each patient, which caused the outbreak of jaundice. So they later found this out. That is why a lot of soldiers had jaundice during World War II. We also see the discovery of RH blood group system, and it was discovered by Carl Landster and Alexander Werner, which this contributed to people starting to test donors and recipients' blood type, because what was found out is if you give a patient the wrong type of blood, their immune system will start fighting against that, and it will lead to death. So now we're going to talk about Dr. Drew and his contribution to blood transfusions. Dr. Charles Richard Drew studied blood, and he found out how to preserve plasma. He found methods of separating plasma from red blood cells, and he was able to figure out how to increase plasma storage for up to 2 months. He helped collect, store, and transport contamination-free blood to send to Britain for their soldiers. And in January 1941, Dr. Drew became the director of the American Red Cross Bank. His job was that he helped with blood storage units, blood mobiles, and donation centers. He also had the job of collecting blood from 100,000 donors to send to American soldiers. Plasma was very important inside this war because plasma contributed to replacing blood and helped to prevent against blood clotting since it's a coagulant. So now we're going to talk about prosthetics. Since there was a lot of soldiers who were wounded during the war, a lot of them had to have their limbs amputated. So once the injured soldiers got back home, they needed prosthetics. So since there was a high demand, many scientists had to figure out how to make prosthetics affordable, durable, portable, while also considering factors of range, motion, speed, and force. So inventors started using cable tension and electromyography to create efficient limbs. Examples of this was the Bowden cable body, which was created in 1948 and replaced bulky straps with a cable. And then we have the first myoelectric prosthetic by Reinhold Reeder. So this is the Bowden cable control system, and this is the myoelectric prosthetic. Okay, now we're going to talk about sanitation improvements. One thing that the world learned from World War I was that it's important to practice good sanitation practices. So the military used health campaigns to spread awareness of stopping the spread of diseases, and every country did this. And they wanted to stop an outbreak of diseases such as smallpoxes and influenza. So medical health and sanitation programs created health propaganda. The propaganda talked about having good personal hygiene, cleaning up areas and garbage, and they talked about food contamination. Here are examples of the medical propaganda. These are my references. And thank you for watching.